So, Keith.
Yo.
Nintendo is in a little bit of a pickle.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
So we've discussed this before, but we're here to discuss it again. Why we think the Wii U's struggling, what Nintendo could do, all this stuff. So the Wii U in Nintendo's second quarter has sold 300,000 units. That's like, 140,000 more than the last quarter, but it's still not that good. It hasn't even sold 500,000 units this entire year. And to put that in perspective, probably the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are going to be selling 1 million at launch. So, yeah.
That's a bit of an issue.
That is a bit of an issue. And throw out some other financial things. The Wii U sold 6.3 million games in this quarter. To put that in perspective, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold 29 million copies in just over a month.
So it's 3 months that they've had, and they've only sold 6 million, whereas in the third amount of time, they've sold over 3 times as much.
Exactly. Now, yeah, the Grand Theft Auto 5 was coming out on platforms with a very large install base, but still, the 3DS has sold almost 4 million units this year, which is really good. That's in 2.49 million, almost 2.5 million in just this quarter, probably because of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, definitely because of Pokemon.
Yes, and so we're here to just discuss everything. So there's all that stuff. What do you think about the Wii U and its struggling sales?
Now, since the last time we made this video, we've actually gotten like the opportunity. I mean, well, we played it at a GameStop, but we did play a Wii U, and it is fun as hell.
Yes.
It's not a bad system, so it all comes down to we mentioned this before, just the games coming out for it. And so, I mean, Nintendo could do one of two things, which is, somehow either adapt something for the Wii U to make it more playable, like have, the touchscreen be a part of, like, a lot of their first-party games or something, but maybe not make it mandatory to play other games, so that, like, I know for the Wii you could get like a classic controller that you could hook up to the the Wii mode, and you could just have a classic controller. Have something kind of like that for the Wii U, so that like boom, you can go and play.
But then if you do that, well, then what's the point in making the gamepad?
Still
spending all that money to invest in it.
Still have it as an option, but then it's like, boom, now you can play on a controller. And then put out, first party games. Put out the new Zelda. Put out the couple new Marios, new Super Smash Bros. And if their financial problems are that bad, lean on Pokemon. I mean, fuck, they kind of already do that already. Just, brand the fuck out of Pokemon. Put out all the games that anybody could ever want for that, and just put, I feel there's not really much that they could do in terms of that, unless they get out something that takes, it's either that or to put out something that takes advantage of the Wii U's capabilities with the touchscreen.
And that's the thing. There hasn't been that game to really take full advantage of the gamepad. You know what I mean? To show everything that it could do. There really hasn't been that game to do it.
I mean, I know it's kind of like an Xbox thing, but hell, if, I don't know, like, if people, I don't know if they are, people are creaming over Battlefield 4 and the whole you can use a tablet or a phone and, play Commander over top of that and control, like, AI or something like that. Do that, with the tablet for the Wii U, so you can sit there and do that kind of stuff. All the stuff, because all the other cross-platform games, especially Xbox, is integrating, using tablets and whatnot into their games anyway. So I mean, do the same kind of thing. Like if developers were to make like that available on the Wii U, it would make things a lot better.
That's the thing, though, is that there is no games on the Wii U. It's like you said earlier. I mean, it's hard to sell a game when there's no system. It's hard to sell a game. Hard to sell a system with no games. To me, yes, I'm sure the Wii U will have a big year next year with Smash Brothers coming out. What else? Mario Kart's coming out.
Zelda.
Zelda will be announced. I don't know. It might come out next year. Hopefully it will. I think there's like a new Donkey Kong game coming out, and probably some other unannounced games. So I'm sure it'll sell much better next year. But I feel that those games should have been out already. I mean, you looked at the ending, of the Wii's lifetime, I guess, and there really wasn't a whole lot of games coming out from Nintendo. They should have just, if they knew that they were going to launch this system, they should have had Super Smash Brothers out, Mario Kart out within the first year or so. They only had 3 first-party titles out for this console. Well, I guess 4, but it's just there's no games, and then third-party developers don't want to support it because their games won't sell because there's not enough systems out there. And let's face it, I mean, a lot of people buy Nintendo systems to play Nintendo games. You can get a much better experience, say, playing Call of Duty on an Xbox or a PlayStation instead of a Wii U or something. So that's the thing, though. If developers, like you were saying, if third-party developers came out and said, look what the Wii U version can do, then a lot of more people would buy the Wii U version if they have, multiple consoles or something. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they got, Zelda out. I heard Zelda helped a lot. Nintendo's doing these bundles now, which are pretty cool. I mean, they did the one for Zelda, and that they're doing another one now. I think they completely scrapped the first 2 that launched with the Wii, and now every time you buy a Wii U, you'll get new Super Mario Brothers U, and new Super Luigi Brothers U, or whatever it is. Yeah. You'll get those 2 games with your system, so you have, something to play, so you don't have to go buy a system and then buy another game, and you'll get this all for whatever the price is, $300 now. I mean, cutting the price, I think, helped as well. It just needs games, and I think another thing that Nintendo just needs to work on drastically, but they're so fucking far behind, and that's online. I mean, Wii U does not have, or Nintendo products really do not have this online infrastructure that, the Xbox or PlayStation has, and the gaming has changed a lot over the years. I mean, there's a lot of people like to play online multiplayer and stuff. And Nintendo tries to push more for, a family, sit on the couch, play in the same room type setting, which I think you can do both. I mean, you can push for that, and then you could really have this banging online, which Nintendo does not have. Because if you bought Call of Duty for your Wii U, or if you were going to buy Call of Duty, and you owned a Wii U and an Xbox 360, which one would you go for? You would obviously go for the one with the better online infrastructure. I just feel that that's something that just has really, really hurt Nintendo and makes them a little bit behind,
Yeah, I think also, and I just had this thought, maybe another thing that might be hurting Nintendo is the fact that, when the Wii came out, motion capture was a brand new thing.
Yes.
Nobody had done that. And then there was the Wii was the best-selling console of this past generation worldwide. you could say that maybe some people got it and then they were like, this is okay, but I mean, so then maybe they're a little wary of getting a Wii U. It's like another big thing. It's like, what if I don't like it too much? It's, you know, I could see that possibly being an issue. The only thing that I could see maybe helping would be kind of like I've said before, you know, Nintendo has to go out there, maybe reach out to other, like, to some other party developers and be like, you know, reach out to what's, you know, like my example before, Battlefield, and be like, hey, or, you know, EA, be like, hey, just make it so that you can have the same kind of things on that system and put it on the Wii U, like how you would use a touchscreen tablet, because then it's like, oh, I don't have to worry, I have this huge screen that I can now use, and you have a little bit more control. Another cool thing would be, hell, I'm surprised I didn't do it this time, but like Warner Brothers Games, they put out the Armored Edition of Batman Arkham City when the Wii U came out, and it was like a version that had everything that you could get on the Game of the Year edition of Batman Arkham City, but you also had a couple new gadgets that weren't in the game, and your map was like always available on the Wii U pad. I'm like, I was half expecting them to do that with the new Batman game, but I'm like, that might have helped them.
They didn't even bring the multiplayer to the Wii U version of Batman Arkham Origins.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, I mean, a lot of things. Their online service would help. If they had a much better online service, third-party developers like Call of Duty would be like, okay, we can go out and put things out. Because if I'm not mistaken, was COD 4 on the PlayStation 3? I think maybe.
Yeah, it was.
So, like, you know, but like Call of Duty 2, you know, that's why Call of Duty 2 itself, you know, there was Big Red 1 which came out for the PlayStation 2, but like Call of Duty 2, that's why it didn't come out for the other ones, because Xbox had the online service when the 360 was out. So I mean, and you know, that's why I don't know, that's really all I could say. I mean, they just got a lot of work that they need to do.
They like a lot of the big games, just they're either one, half-assed ports, or two, they just completely skip the system. Look at Battlefield 4, not even on there. Fucking Madden is not even on the Wii U. If I ran Nintendo, I would reach out to Rockstar. I'd be like, look, I'm going to write you a big fat check if you put Grand Theft Auto 5 on my fucking system. And that's, you know, what Nintendo needs to do. I mean, they need to cater more towards the gamers. I mean, and also they need, like, I see no commercials on TV about the Wii U. I see no commercials on the internet about the Wii U. People probably that bought a Wii are like, what the fuck's a Wii U? You know, Nintendo's not saying this is a fresh new experience that you can have with a brand new console with this cool gamepad. People either, one, don't even know what the Wii U is, or two, you know, they just think it's like an addition to the Wii or something. And it is a shame, though, because, like Keith said, we played the Wii U twice, and it was a lot of fucking fun. We played Rayman Legends?
Rayman Legends. And then there was the Super Mario Bros. U a couple months back.
And that was fun, too. But Rayman was probably the coolest thing, because it was just so cool, because Keith had like a regular Wii remote and was playing the Rayman character, and I was some, you know, motherfucker on the gamepad, like, doing all these things so Keith could keep advancing. And it was probably one of the coolest co-op experiences that I've ever had. It was seriously cool. And it's a shame because this system has so much potential to do so many cool things. And I mean, there's certain things that make me really want to go buy a Wii U. I just don't want to drop that money down for a system that only has 2 or 3 games that I really want to play. And it's not good when, you know, you see people go, I bought a Wii U and I really regret it. You don't want to make people say that. And Nintendo could have jumped all over this, being, the first next-gen system out on the market, and they kind of just let it slip.
Just said, hey, we have this thing called a Wii U. And I think they also, those initial games that came out, like, I think there was 3. I don't remember I think it was the initial games that came out. There was Zombie U, which I hear was a great disappointment. So, I mean, that was one thing they could have done better. Assassin's Creed 3 was one of the first things to go on.
There was a bunch of, kind of ports, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but, I mean, if they would have... Again, their opening lineup just was terrible.
I know. Basically, the only thing that was worth it was New Super Mario Bros. U, in ways.
Even then, I don't think that came out immediately. That came out
that was at launch.
That was at launch.
Yeah, but and that's another thing. Nintendo, like I was getting back to before, they should have had these games out. They've only put out 2 first-party games, and that's Pikmin 3 and Zelda HD. And I mean, yeah, people get really excited about Zelda, but it's a remake. I'm not sure how much that will, shift units. And they're hoping to sell 9 million units total worldwide, and they've only sold almost 4 million by now, and they're hoping to sell that by the end of March. They're basically saying that Super Mario 3D World is going to sell them 5 million units, and I don't think that's
unless secretly Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. What's it? Super Smash Bros. U or something like that?
I have no
Probably
clue.
something like that. But unless one of those 2 games drop soon, they're just hey, next month game.
I did hear that Mario Kart 8's coming out in the spring, I think. So I don't know.
So I mean, but again, unless they have something huge that it's going to make people want to play, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely not with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One out on the market. It's not going to happen. It's pretty sad that the Wii has outsold the Wii U this entire year. The Wii is irrelevant anymore.
They stopped making it. And it's weird.
They have stopped making them.
It's weird too, because I feel like I would be willing to try out a couple games. I'd almost be they don't have the incentive, because I mean, at least me, I'm a curious gamer. So I'd sit there. If I would have got a Wii U at launch, I would have been Assassin's Creed 3. I'll see what it's like. Who knows? But they didn't even make that incentive. I think there was a commercial for Assassin's Creed coming out for the Wii U. I think there was. But that's the only Wii U commercial I've really seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I mean, you see ones for PlayStation, you see ones for Xbox all the time. I mean, even if you go on YouTube and there's advertisements before a video, none of them are Wii U. I've never seen one that is a Wii U advertisement. That's something that just Nintendo really has to work on.
Now, I mean, that might be a money thing, financially.
Could be.
But I mean...
But Nintendo has a lot of fucking money, though.
No, so I mean...
I'm sure they make a lot from their first-party games, because those sell like fucking crazy. And it's cool that the 3DS is selling really well, because it's a really good system with a lot of really good games on it now. So it's cool that that's selling. And Pokemon, I mean, that's going to sell 40,000 fucking things.
Yeah, and there's going to be another Pokemon. Another form of a Pokemon game out next year.
Probably.
But actually, probably two. They'll probably put out some kind of weird thing, and then they'll put out whatever the sequel is for...
Yeah, and the 3DS has that third-party support, too. I mean, there's always games coming out for the 3DS.
Yeah, so I mean...
Because it's profitable. The Wii U just right now is not profitable. I wish the best for the Wii U, because it is a really cool system. And, it will be really cool if it succeeds.
Yes. So, I mean, yeah, tell us your opinion on this, because, I mean, we're very interested in what other people think about the Wii U. So, I mean, drop a comment. Like this bitch. And, subscribe. All that good stuff. Bye.